live now. We're live. B-Boilers podcast. What's going on, people?
Yeah,
Not bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I hear that. A weekend for the whole NBA. Not everyone's mad happy about that now. NBA is finally back.
Yeah, man.
So let's just get it started. No further ado. What are you saying, Julian? You said you had a run sheet. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk some injuries, the rookies, because we can't not get excited about the rookies, and like maybe some pleasant surprises. There's no way we can't talk about Giannis, but like maybe get to him a bit later. But I thought first we can't talk about the Suns and like firing Earl Watson. First coach to go. I think it's like the second fastest or third fastest firing in the league, like for the start of the season. I remember a few years ago, Mike Brown went out after not very many games, but like Kevin Markelle went out after a couple of games where everyone knew that that was choppy waters. But Earl Watson, I thought he had a good rapport with the team. I thought he had a good thing with his players being so young. Like I thought that was his whole shtick, and like, it didn't pay off. Like they lost 3 games, the worst 3 games like in terms of losing margin for any team ever, and then they won last night. But yeah, what do you guys think? Was that the right move by the Suns, like to drop Watson so early in the season, or was it too late? Should they have done it in the summer?
Yeah,
I feel there's a lot that's not known. I feel like you said, with the team being so young and him being brought there, particularly as a young coach, and with where they are in their kind of development rebuild or whatever, with the pieces that they have, the balance of veterans and young guys that they have, it did seem a bit sudden. It did seem as though if there was some major known underlying problems, it would have made too much sense for them to make that move in the off season. I think that starting 0-3, and even if it is the largest margins or whatever, I don't know if that really played that much of a role, because it's not a surprise where they are within their development with their roster.
Exactly.
So to me anyway, it doesn't seem like that's the reason why. It feels like there's some underlying stuff that we don't really know about, because that just seemed way too sudden, way too soon. And for the record and the margin and whatnot, based on what they know they have, it's kind of like, well, we knew this was highly likely. You know what I mean? So.
Firstly, I get you. Like everyone knew they were going to be bad. No one was expecting them to come out the gate and like contest games against good teams and stuff like they played the Clippers, and like they're playing teams that they shouldn't beat with the talent they have right now. But also watching some of their tape, you can see that no one was excited to be on that court wearing a Suns jersey. Like the body language doctor, it was all bad. Like there was some, I don't know who it was against the Knicks. Some guy it was against the Clippers. Like Montrezl Harrell beat a guy down. He flopped. Harrell took a layup, missed it, grabbed it and put it back while 3 guys watched him do it. Like no, it's just. Aside from that one funny clip of them all going into the fast break at the same time, there's been nothing good coming out of the Suns.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you saying?
Yeah. Bledsoe as well, saying that he doesn't want to be here. I don't think that was just as a result of the firing of Earl Watson. There's clearly underlying issues that they've obviously done well to keep away from the media, but they were clearly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Philip, because to me it sounds nice if you fire a coach after 3 losses in a season, after 3 games. Either you're like just dumb and you haven't did it before, but that's like there has to be something else, because otherwise it's just very, very dumb to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. People have like the rumor mill says that there's stuff going on in the front office. There's a lot of problems there, and maybe ownership wants to sell the team, and or ownership wants some wins now so he can sell the team, because he doesn't want to sell a team that's shit and like lose $100 million. 10 extra wins would create that much.
Like, if I had like a couple of millions, 100 millions, like I wouldn't pay 100 million more if it's like 5-3 or 3 of 8-2 or something like that.
Yeah. It's such a shame because it's like
how that kind of stuff works. But
it's such a shame because they have got all this great talent, and I want to see it work. And like I was a big fan of the Nash era Suns. And even go back to the 90s, like Barkley's Suns, they were fun teams to watch. It sucks to see a relatively proud franchise that always seems to have its shit together go down the toilet the last few years. Right back when like there's stuff in the locker, you can tell there's stuff going on like behind the scenes. Like Goran Dragic wasn't happy, Isaiah Thomas wasn't happy. Like all three of their point guards from 4 years ago, when everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to change the game," the 3 point guards, all of them left, and Bledsoe is leaving. And I want to ask, like, Aaron, where do you think Bledsoe is going to end up? Because he's getting traded. Woo! He's going to get traded.
I think he might want to be a part of it. You might want to be a part of it. New York.
They've got assets.
Start spreading the news. Yeah, that's a very probable landing spot for him. To be fair, I don't see the whole Cavs thing is being touted.
That's because he's got the same agent as LeBron. That's it. Like.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
That's not happening. The fit is a madness. Like, okay, Rose is cool, but he'll be back. Okay, IT's out till February, whatever, but he'll be back. And then you've got Calderon, and then no, he's not going to Cavs.
We know that Isaiah Thomas and Bledsoe can't play together. Like, we've seen it before. Like, why would you try?
No, that's crazy to me. I agree that the Knicks is definitely a good landing spot for him. Denver's
but then Nuggets have a good package with that Moutier Fareed. That's a good package. So
I think it will be a possible toss-up between those two, Denver and New York.
I mean, the other team that, like, the sentimental one that people throw out is LA, the Clippers. I mean, like, because he played there, that's where he started his career, and like, I mean. Who could think about Austin Rivers? I don't know. Austin Rivers has to be in that deal because you've got to get rid of him. But
I think Clippers got a good thing going with that.
Yeah, they got a great
Beverly Teodosic situation, and obviously Eric Bledsoe is not going to be a third string point guard on anywhere.
So he can play the two there. But anyway, it seems more like he's going to end up in New York or Denver. Like essentially sad to see. But they won a game last night, which is good, against the Kings, whatever that counts for. But but definitely, I thought we should talk about that first. I mean, I think that Watson, he's the fall guy. Like, that team sucked, and someone needed to get fired, and they decided the GMs are going to get fired at the end of the season. Right, that's it. There's going to be a wholesale change, but Bledsoe's gone. I mean, the Suns are going to suck. We said this in one of our earlier pods. They're going to suck. They're going to suck hard, and they haven't even been fun to watch because they don't want to play. So hopefully that changes.
Maybe Devin Booker makes again a game plus 50 or something. When
in a loss, great.
That will be the highlight season. Nothing more to come from the Suns, I think.
No. First thing, I think we can drop the Suns and leave the bottom of the West out of it now. I mean, talking about some injuries, like the big ones, like season-ending ones, like Hayward and Lin. And that's sad. I mean, Lin on the Nets wasn't going to. He was playing well. It looked good while he was on the floor even with D'Angelo Russell, but they weren't going to be a playoff team. So that's real sad, and I hope he gets better. But at the same time, it doesn't exactly change the league. Gordon Hayward going down. Like we talked about this briefly last week, but since on this list of injuries, I mean, I don't want to ever see that tape again.
Me neither. Ugly.
That was horrific.
Yeah,
I just remember watching the game and seeing his leg. Like, it almost looked like something out of a horror film. Like, the way his leg was in the complete wrong direction.
Some shit I saw that. Yeah. I mean, that's real sad. Like we talked about a little bit last week. I mean, the other ones that have come through now on the injury list, like there's CP3. Looks like the Rockets going to be okay, right? They look like they can hold down the fort perfectly well, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be devastating to them throughout.
What's it? Weeks max.
Season. Yeah, exactly.
It's early in the season. Yeah.
So hopefully it's not indicative of some like latent injury that's going to crop up again later in the year. But watching a little bit of Houston stuff, I've been weirdly impressed with it. Like even last year, I was quite bored watching Houston because I knew it was like, right, you're going to get a 3 or a layup, which is like, it's impressive basketball to watch, like from a tactical standpoint, but it's not actually that interesting. You know who did interest me, who I thought last year really wasn't much and wouldn't be much without James Harden? Clint Capela is actually playing like really well. Even I've seen him do one like jab step, one dribble hook shots, like stuff that I didn't think he had in his bag. But
the thing is, Clint Capela actually wasn't that bad last year. You see, and AC, you know about this as well. Clint Capela is one of those players that suffers from this thing that literally everybody suffers from, where someone might come into the league and they're decent, but they might have certain discrepancies. Now, they actually changed that and they work on that, but it's like it takes 2 to 3 years for most people, particularly so-called media experts, to catch up. So, for example, and we often mention Blake Griffin, someone might not have a jump shot, but then they develop a jump shot. And for 2 or 3 years, people will still be saying he can't shoot. But no, you're not looking. He has now developed a jump shot. He's regularly banging 18-foot jump shots. And it takes people a long time to catch up. And Clint Capela's fallen victim to that because, all right, he's not the greatest, but last season he actually played quite decent. Do you know what I mean?
I think the other knock to Clint Capela, people say like, oh yeah, he's good, but it's only because he plays with James Harden. Like he's a rim running big that he'd be nothing without like a guy throwing the ball above the rim. And, you know, from little bits I've seen, that's just not the case anymore. He seems like, I don't want to say, I mean, that team doesn't win as many games with, he's better than the replacement, like an average replacement. He is above that. And if they lost him, it would be a tangible loss, which is great for him and great for his, whenever his contract's up, that's really great for him. Because, I mean, in this era of running bigs, like he's quintessential, really. I mean, if you could shoot, that'd be amazing, but not everyone can shoot. So, yeah, I'm really happy with the Rockets. They're more fun to watch now as well because they got a better defense going on. But I mean,
that's the key. Yeah. That's the main.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
But talking about just quickly to the other Texas team, or one of the other Texas teams, San Antonio. I mean, Kawhi is still out. I heard Tony Parker is going to go play in the G League for rehab.
I read that today.
So I hope he gets better soon because I like watching him play. But Kawhi, do you see tape last week of him like trying to get up into the team plane? Like he was hobbling.
Yeah, that was bad. That was.
I didn't see that
at all. That's awful.
He was
quite
walking,
far off.
Yeah, he looked quite far off. He was walking very gingerly. Let's say that.
Yeah.
And he looked like when you just got injured.
Like, he looked like he was walking off the court after rolling his ankle. Like it looked that bad.
Yeah.
How many weeks he will be out?
It's they don't have a timetable. They're not saying. Like,
okay, because I didn't have like a month that he will be out like for month or something.
Could be until Christmas. Who knows?
Yeah.
I foresee that it will be a while because not only because of that footage, which was not looking very good, but also because I think they will err on the side of caution.
Of course, that's just what I was waiting to say. They will take extra.
Yeah.
Like even when he's good to go, they'll still give it another 2 months.
Yeah, there's not going to be an issue with Kawhi of like, oh, he needs time to settle in. No, he's one of the best players in the league. He's super humble. He knows his role. He's not going to come in and just change everything. No one's going to be pissed when he's back, like giving up shots. He can come back in March at 100%, and they'll be like, right, well, let's go have a run in the deep into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Early days yet, but it looks like that pep talk that Aldridge had with Pop has done something as well. He does look markedly better than last year. Yeah. As I said, it's early days yet, but you know, I will say
a little bit better. Like looks like Portland Aldridge again. Like, I mean, yeah, as well. Like, there's no rush getting Kawhi back because it's not like they're worrying about are they going to make the playoffs. They're 3-0. And they've played legitimate good teams and like struggled to come back and won dirty, and they look good doing it. And DeJounte Murray looks great. Kawhi LA looks good. Yeah. Even Powell, even if he's not mobile enough, but he's still getting buckets.
Yeah.
Ginobili looks great. Like they've got all the pieces right now.
Yeah. I see as well. Like San Antonio looks good, and even without Kawhi. So and that's like 90% of the credit goes to Popovich, I think, because every time he's preparing his team so well, and because when we look at his roster, like just the unit players, there's nothing special right now without Kawhi. There's nothing special, but they are obviously 3-4 games in, but they won, and they won easily, more or less. Yeah. And I don't see that changing. That's the work of the coach for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Popovich is always going to be, he's either going to win Coach of the Year, he's going to be second or third place votes, like every year. And I don't know what kind of pact with the devil he made 20 years ago to for this to happen every fucking year.
Yeah.
But they're going to win 50 games, and it's not. Yeah. It's easy. Like they're going to win 55 games. Like,
I would love to be just one day training for him or something like.
That'd be amazing.
Want to know what he's doing, what he's telling to his players and everything, and just seeing who's acting with the players, it would be great.
Well, I was saying, like, the behind-the-scenes footage from training camp, the stuff on the Spurs is always the best because he's incredible. Like, you can see he knows the game so much better than ever. Like, he didn't play, he wasn't never a pro. Like he came, I think he did coaching in the army or the Air Force in the States. Like he seems like a great dude. Everyone's got nothing but praise for him. And I'd love to learn anything from him.
Because obviously he's basketball wise he's one of the best, but I think
ever.
Especially he has to be one of the best social skill wise, because otherwise you don't have, because he needs to have really good skills to read people, because he brings in people from Europe and most of the time they fit in perfectly and they produce way better than anybody expected. And I just wanted to learn from him, as a person, as a human being, because
everything I've ever read about him, he's always been very particular about not only going on about basketball. As much as he's a basketball genius and a whiz kid, he's very particular about going out to dinner. And you have to have something else to say. What book are you reading? What films have you watched? What's your take on a current political situation? He's very much an interpersonal type of person that focuses on the realm of life. And I think that's why he's such a great coach, because he's not just like X's and O's 24/7. When it comes to that, he's obviously one of the greatest, but he's able to balance that with other realms of life. And that's why he's so great. You know what I mean?
I mean, to bring it back to LaMarcus, I don't know if LaMarcus goes to a different coach. I don't know if LaMarcus Aldridge has that same conversation he had with Popovich if he was on another team. If he was in, would he go have that conversation with Scott Brooks? Would he have had that conversation with Earl Watson if he ever signed with the Suns a few years ago? No, it seems like that sort of conversation where you can honestly go talk to your coach and say, "I'm not happy with my minutes. Can we sort this out?" It doesn't seem like that happens with many other people other than Popovich, right? And he understands and goes, "Oh shit, well, let's figure this out and be grown men about this." But I think we all agreed unanimous Popovich is the best coach in the NBA.
For sure.
We'd all love to play for him or coach under him. But I mean, just to bring it back to the injuries, one last guy I want to talk about, that dovetails into the rookies. Markelle Fultz. What the hell was Philadelphia? What the hell is Philadelphia thinking? Letting him play.
The man, he can't even lift his arm. Literally, he cannot lift his arm.
It's crazy.
And
he's shooting arm.
Yeah, the latest news is he's got shoulder soreness. He admitted it's shoulder soreness, and he got a shot, a painkiller, anti-inflammatory thing in his shoulder, and he's going to sit 3 games at least.
Yeah, but
he's had it drained. He had drained today.
No, they said that it was the agent misspoke. He wasn't actually drained.
Okay.
I don't know. Had the agent got that shit mixed up? It's the difference between having fluid taken out of you and having painkillers jabbed in.
Right, and it's only 3 games he's going to miss.
3 games. They could extend it, but they say he's definitely at 3 games.
They need to sit him.
When I saw him,
down. They need to sit him down. That's foolishness. Come on, man.
I mean, because look, they obviously they've done that frequently. They sat Embiid for 2 years. They sat Simmons for 1 year. They sat Nerlens. They sat it's what you do. So it's chill. You know what I mean? Sit him down.
That's what I'm saying, man. You've been sitting guys. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. A guy coughs and you're sitting him. You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. It's ridiculous.
Those things you can see it. There's other things. Markelle's game, look back at that Philly tape. Maybe it's all just the shoulder. Maybe it's just he can get a shot off right and he's not confident. But he doesn't look confident at all. I mean, at all. Where Ben Simmons drives into the lane and looks to either score or hand off, where he looks confident. Markelle Fultz gets a foot into the paint and looks away immediately. He's got no idea what to do there because he's getting blocked the fuck out.
I don't want to deviate from the injuries, but I have to quickly say, Ben Simmons is looking good.
That's the real deal.
He's shooting with both hands. He's doing floaters with both hands. He's doing everything with both hands. He is looking legitimately good.
I mean, let's just talk about the rookies then. Simmons is
Not to digress.
Like, no, let's talk rookies. Like, Ben Simmons is aside from the scoring and the two-handed stuff, which there are pro players like in their 10th year who still can't make a left-hand layup with contact. Like Ben Simmons is doing all that, and he's throwing pinpoint passes. Like he's throwing passes that only his guys can catch, and
rebounding, vision, yo.
I mean, second fastest player like in history. Only Oscar Robertson was faster to his first triple-double.
Yeah, I saw that pick as well.
He's a good mate.
That's great, real deal, right? That's amazing. Doesn't seem like he's worried about his injuries at all. Like he's got
very relaxed. His demeanor on the court is like relaxed. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's looking good.
It's going to be great. I mean, let's talk about the other rookies, mate. Who's impressed you?
Lauri Markinnen. Don't front on my guy. I want to hear no shit about my guy, Julian. Don't front.
I'm going to have a quick look and see how many rebounds he's got.
Julian's wait to say
something. He's getting 8-9 rebounds. What? That's decent. Not everything has to be a double-double in your rookie year, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a lot of rebounds. Fuck. Okay.
And exactly. And didn't he just, speaking about record, didn't he just break a record for threes as well?
Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, I think so.
Listen, man.
First 10 made in the first 3 games.
Yeah, listen, he is looking automatic. He's looking like one of them automatic shooters.
He can score.
It's a problem. Like,
and he's not just a shooter. Watch his game. He's not just a shooter.
No. He can put it on the ground.
When he gets a little bit stronger, like there's literally one nitpick I have of his game at the moment is when he comes out on help defense, he sometimes doesn't get back early enough. That's the one nitpick that I've noticed. When he's doing help defense, but very promising. Very promising.
I'd say for him, he's not going to win Rookie of the Year.
No,
I'd be surprised if he gets any votes. Really.
We will see that in a couple of more games, like in 3 months. But I think, Philip, you are happy that he's playing good, right?
It's the only good thing we've got to lean on right now.
I didn't want to say it that way, so I was just saying.
Yeah, I'd say on Markelle, like he's being the best version of himself right now, and hopefully it lasts. I like seeing rookies play well. He's not going to be Rookie of the Year. He's not going to help them. I don't know if he's going to help them win games.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
I mean, he doesn't have any help. There's not exactly much going on. So
like 2, 3 or 4 years ago, Wiggins, Carl-Anthony Towns, and everything, and they didn't make the Wolves win games. Like I don't know how many wins they had.
Yeah.
If you are a good rookie or one of the best rookies, and you are in one of the fucked up teams, you could make good points and good rebounds, but it's worth shit because you lose every game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
when you think about how Wiggins is looking right now,
till now he's looking quite.
I thought of Jan when he hit that game winner the other night.
Yeah.
I thought of you, Jan.
Literally, I watched it like 20 times at least. I watched it and I'm like, oh my goodness.
That was a good shot, and I liked them. People, I think I saw some graphic afterwards. Like someone said, "Oh, did he call glass on that?" And Karl-Anthony Towns jumped in and said, "No, he called game." Like, fair. Right, at the same time, the league did say, there was definitely an illegal screen there. That someone should have called it. But at the same time, fuck that. I like it when refs swallow their whistle, except for the most blatant shit down the end. So you made the shot, amazing. But he looks like the perfect third guy right now. Jimmy Butler and Karl-Anthony Towns, and then Wiggins backing up.
I think he feels more comfortable in that position as well. Like he can do his stuff and everything. Nobody is watching his defensive skills anymore that much because Jimmy Butler does a lot, and the whole team looks way better on defense. They are working harder.
Yeah, they work harder.
Well, last night it was like Jimmy Butler is not playing, and they lose immediately, and a lot, like with a big difference to the Pacers. And I think that Butler is the key for sure in the team.
I mean, it's interesting because last night I was watching the tape as well. Like on the defensive end, remember last year when everyone was saying like Karl-Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins should be some of the best defenders in the league. They just have to be fired up. Last night, someone blew an assignment and Karl-Anthony Towns rinsed them out for it. It's like Like, I mean, that's something you would not have seen last year, even when they had Thibs. So maybe that's Jimmy Butler rubbing off in the right way. You have to play defense together. You have to work hard all the time. And if you fuck up, you call each other out for it.
And that's it. They both needed a guy who's better than them, and who was telling them, get the shot, go for it. If someone else here tells that is not that good, has not the position, not the position to tell that, then maybe they think, okay, I'm giving here every night 20 points and 10 rebounds as Carl Towns. What are you telling me? Like, who are you, more or less, right?
Yeah.
So Jimmy Butler for sure is the key player in the team.
He's a good captain.
He's
just thinking of the Northwest.
Well, before we deviate from the Minnesota Timberwolves, let's address one Jamal Crawford and Julian.
Yeah.
Are you going to eat your words now?
I mean, it's early days. It's 4 games into the season. So he's averaging 12 points. He looked really good. That one game, he dropped like 17 or 20 points. I was really happy. But I like seeing that. I don't
You
think
weren't
it's going to hold up.
happy.
No, in the moment,
you weren't happy.
I was euphoric at watching a great, talented offensive player score the ball. And then afterwards I thought, fuck, I'm going to have to deal with this shit on the podcast. But no, I mean, 12 points a game, that's decent. I'm happy for him.
And then last game, I think
you can't get them all right.
No doubt. You know, he's old, he's a ball stopper.
He's a ball stopper.
He's trash. But in all seriousness as well, in the last game, he had 9 dimes as well, which is quite good, which is the game high.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's good to see.
Speaking of,
obviously, I always thought he was a good piece, but, you know.
Speaking of dimes,
it's good to see.
Was it, I don't know if it was the first game of the season or the second game, but Jeff Teague didn't close the game, and it wasn't because of foul trouble. Like, I think Thibodeau left it, it might have just been like Tyus Jones was hot or something, but Thibodeau went with Tyus Jones, and I want to see Teague's fourth quarter minutes for the season. Yeah. Because Teague is always one of those guys that I worry about. Is he good against bad teams and bad defenders? But can you? I mean, it's not that he doesn't have playoff experience, but I want to see where that goes.
Like, what I saw from Jeff Teague was not that good, that special. But when you have Wiggins, Jimmy Butler, and Carl Anthony Towns, you don't need a point guard that is scoring 25 points.
No.
So I think if the big three, so to call, play good and normal, then Jeff Teague is good enough for the team to reach the playoffs, to make the season a good season. But for the future, maybe it's good if Tom Thibodeau is building Tyus Jones, because I see potential in him, and he's getting more confident. And I think as well, the Wolves can really make like a two-team starting lineup, like the first five players, and rotating completely, because they have like 5 good players that can play good together.
Yeah.
And if they do that, then Tyus Jones will get minutes with the same guys, and maybe that's helping him out as well, than just going with another squad as well all the time, if you get what I'm saying.
No, definitely. And to swing it forward, like, speaking of last year's Minnesota point guard Ricky Rubio, now in Utah, playing really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to say that. I'm so glad you just came in with that perfect timing. I had no idea you was going to say that. But listen, Ricky Rubio is looking very serious with the Jazz. I like how he has improved, even last year, but I like how he's improved his jump shot now.
Yeah,
now
last year he started shooting.
Same thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not the form. It's not a form thing. It's pure confidence. You can see it. He's coming off screens and he's not afraid to shoot. He's taking he's taking like 4 or 5 threes a game. It's a question of confidence. Like, Markelle Fultz has got none of it. He's played 4 games in the NBA. He hasn't taken a 3. He's a starting point guard. What's he starting? Or he's playing enough minutes like that he should have taken a 3. And
But
Ricky Rubio is out there.
With Fultz, you don't know what's going on with the shoulder because when you
it's busted, like
because when you can his shooting form at the free throw line, like, when you shoot like that, when you then you can't shoot a regular 3-pointer, right?
No, he can't shoot. He can't shoot at all right now. That's why he's going to sit. But
Ricky is looking quite good, and I like to see him excel there.
Yeah, I mean, someone else at Utah who I hope he gets minutes because they have a deep set of guys on the wing from Rubio, Alec Burks, who's looking really good, Rodney Hood, Joe Ingles is going to be out on the wing a lot as well. But I really like Donovan Mitchell. He's not scoring a bunch. He's not shooting at a super high clip, but that's the usual rookie getting used to the speed of the game. But eye test, he looks like he's up to pace.
Donovan Mitchell was one of my picks in the draft.
Yeah.
Still, he's one of my guys in the draft.
Yeah, he looks really, really good. I don't know what it is. He looks like he's been playing for 4 or 5 years. He's got that sort of confidence about him. If Utah makes it to the playoffs, he'll be an important part of that.
Yeah, in the end,
makes it deep. I mean,
basketball is a lot about confidence, right? A lot about mind and being in the moment and don't hesitating to shoot and everything. So if he's that confident that early, it's good for him. And
definitely. And just thinking about the other point guards out there and staying out west, I really like De'Aaron Fox. Right? Aaron, you've been watching Kings games?
I've seen what he's doing. Listen, he's dangerous, I mean, obviously, talking about the rookie class, there's guys that are clearly better than him, even excluding Simmons, who technically was a rookie last year and whatnot. I don't see him in the running for that directly, but like I said before in the last podcast, I definitely want to see him, and I've been watching him, and he's dangerous. He is real dangerous. He's got that confidence about him as well, and his speed, he is roasting guys. A drive in and get into the rack, he is absolutely roasting guys. He's not scared. I like him.
Yeah, he's making great reads. He's beating guys on backdoor on screens. He's beating guys backdoor. He's playing really well. And to your point, Simmons is the best rookie right now.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
Yeah,
he's a rookie.
Yeah, but of the other ones, I don't know if he's any worse than Lauri Markinnen. I don't think he's any worse than Donovan Mitchell, or he's better than Fultz. De'Aaron Fox could be hypothetically the best point guard in this draft, because the other guy haven't talked about Jason Tatum, but he looks great. But he's in the right system, right? De'Aaron Fox, if he was playing for Brad Stevens, might also look even better than he does playing for. Who's the coach for the Kings?
Isn't
Mike
it?
Malone?
Isn't it? What's his name? The former Grizzlies coach before my man.
Oh, of course, Dave Yogo. Dave
Yogo,
yeah. I was saying De'Aaron Fox, I think, is at least as good as Tatum right now. I think I've got on my list, and I think I had a list here going Simmons, Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum, and Lauri Markinnen. And I thought, shit, that's actually a pretty good starting five. And also, I was watching something funny from the Ringer, Bill Simmons' podcast, and from his big book, the Book of Basketball, got on my shelf here. There's a thing. Remember, there's a story about the Monte Carlo game when in 1992, where before the Olympics, the American team went to Monte Carlo for an exhibition game and for training.
Yes.
And there's a closed door training session where they just went at it, no cameras, no media, no nothing. And Bill Simmons was saying, De'Aaron Fox passes the Monte Carlo test. You'd want him in that game. You'd want him to be your point guard. And I'm really excited about him. I think he's really good, even with a team like the Kings, who aren't as much of a laughingstock anymore as they were a few years ago. So, and have got a good coach, ownership that's prepared to spend money. The other point guard, saying De'Aaron Fox could be the best point guard in the draft. It depends what you think about Lonzo Ball.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about him. 2 or 3 games. And first game he's getting destroyed more or less.
Yeah.
Next game he is destroying.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's one. First, you're playing against Patrick Beverley, and the thing is, he did get destroyed, but he was making good reads. He was he didn't look. It wasn't like he was completely lost.
No.
And then the second game is against the Suns. Like, who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like I just wanted to.
John Wall's looking to take his head off tonight, though. Let's believe that.
It's gonna be a boxing match. Like, the Wall star John Wall is easily one of the most underrated players in the league. I like to judge players like, would I take them in NBA 2K? It's like, yeah, I'd happily start a team with John Wall. Absolutely, I would. Like,
100% agree with you. John Wall's an amazing player.
Yeah.
Starting.
Where's Kevin? He would love to hear that.
Yeah. So is John Wall? John Wall's problem. No, I was going to say he's going to start point guard for the East. There's not going to be a fucking East and West. So like, John Wall has to be picked by someone. Like LeBron has got to pick John Wall to be on his team, right?
Yeah.
I want to see how that whole thing pans out as well, because you can't just have like, if it's Steph. Listen, I don't just want to see like 4 or 5 Warriors. No, that's just whack. Yeah. There's gonna have to be something that's regulated. You can't just pick your boys. What the hell?
Did you watch The Decision in 2010? No, I want that. I want basically The Decision meets the actual NBA draft. Like they're all there in their hats and they go up and shake LeBron James' hand or Steph Curry's hand when they get drafted. I want a whole shebang.
It's not going to happen like that though, right?
Like, what was it going to be like? They get together wherever find the nearest casino, all hang out and just say, "Oh, I'll take him, and him," and that's it.
Yeah, we're not going to see that. As much as it would make fantastic viewing, we're not going to see that process. We're going to see once it's done. We're not going to see guys standing there and actually choosing guys and other guys standing there.
Line up tall guys down, short guys down.
That's crazy. The guy who don't get picked at the end just standing there looking at his face.
You have to have a camera on Damian Lillard for the entire thing, right?
The Dame Dolla cam, yeah.
I mean, say everything. I love Dame Dolla's game. He's also the best rapper in the NBA by far and away. If you haven't listened to his new album, Confirmed, like
I haven't, but it's good. It's good.
It's really good. Like he's easily the best rapper in the NBA.
Yeah, that for sure. But it's good to listen to.
It's actually a legit good album. Like it's standalone, a legit good album. But,
he's proper. I mean, that's not I'm a baller and let me go and have some fun and just mess around with the mic. I mean, that's
stuff. It's good. But if it's like that good, like the best of the best in hip hop, that normally is not that the case, right? Because he's playing basketball.
I don't know about all that, but it's good. I mean, it's a really well produced album. Just to deviate real quick, like 40 minutes of it, I can listen to it beginning to end. There's not a track I would skip.
Okay,
it's really well produced. It flows really well. Like, Lil Wayne's on it. Like,
nice.
It's better than the first album as well. But
okay.
That's not a particularly glowing reference point for me that Lil Wayne's on it. But I hear you though.
Yeah. Put it this way: if we never knew anything about Damian Lillard playing basketball and we only knew him as a rapper, he would still stand up as a quality artist. That's how good he is.
100%.
That's a fact.
Yeah. No, really like that album. I'd recommend everyone go get it. Actually buy it as well. That'd be great. He doesn't need the money, but all that shoe deal.
I'm going to check it out. No, I'm going to check it out.
It's on YouTube, so.
It's on Spotify as well, right?
Yeah. Give it a preview and that.
Yeah. Then next.
But it might be that good version of Lil Wayne that pops up every now and then anyway.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah. It's a good track. Right? But I mean, just to jump on, like, I want to talk about some pleasant surprises and stuff. Like Giannis is the obvious one, isn't he amazing? But I'm not a big fan of. I'm a huge fan of Giannis, but the other guy I want to mention who I've never been a huge fan of at all. In fact, like,
what?
Not Jamal Crawford. Like, no, I mean it's the point where I used to criticize his game so much that when I was at university and I was coaching a team, that my guys bought me when I was leaving uni. They got me his jersey as like a fuck you, thank you, and it was Blake Griffin. I never liked Blake, but he is looking.
He's looking
like
good.
He's going to steal some
in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Blake.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I mean, the Clippers are 3-0. I mean, they beat the Jazz, the Lakers and the Suns, whatever. But they beat the Jazz well. Blake has got 27, 9, and 4. He's shooting 50% from the field, 44% from deep on like regular shots. He's taking 6 shots a game from deep, and 82% on free throws. And like those assists, like 4 and a bit assists, those aren't just like on the post kick out or like lucky fast breaks and stuff. These are legitimate throwing difficult passes, running the fast break assists.
He's playing really good now.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, you see. You know, aside from, as Phil was just referring to, when Rudy got absolutely obliterated and baptized and everything, aside from that, the whole Blake Griffin thing, this is what me and Phil would talk about. That's kind of where this weird media blindness thing actually begun. And we used to have so many conversations about that with Blake Griffin. Obviously, he came into the league. He was a super high flyer. So guys were just like, oh, he dunks. That's it. Yeah. And they didn't really look past his, past his dunking ability. So they didn't really take any notice of his development. Like 2-3 years into it, talk about he hasn't got a jump shot, whatnot. But as you can see, he does have an array of things that he can do on the court. And now and he's been in that position. And CP3 now not being there is allowing him to showcase that a lot more. Yeah. Obviously, his ball handling skills. And, he was playing, not at the Clippers, but he was playing point guard at one time.
Yeah.
I remember we've seen a preview of this. When CP3 was out for that long period of time, Blake held it down and they were getting wins. Yeah. So we've seen this before. Because I remember the CP3 was out and then Blake was out. And Blake more than held it down and was leading that team. And it weren't no empty numbers. They were getting wins. Yeah. You know what I mean? So...
I think it's so exciting to see because my main gripe with him years ago, it wasn't that he was just a dunker and couldn't shoot. Like a load of guys like that athletic coming into the league are just dunkers and can't shoot. That's no surprise. But his post game was dog shit. Like he had this thing where he would face away from the basket, doing his post move. He would jump first and then try and spin in the air to do his hook shot. Like it was messed up. It's fixed. It seems so much better this year. Like, and they're running everything through him. Like he's in the mid post or the low post, or he's running pick and roll with DeAndre. And I don't think there are that many fours that can, like if you set a 4-5 pick and roll, I don't think many people can keep up with DeAndre and Blake.
Yeah.
And when it's not him, it's Lou Williams, or occasionally Austin Rivers, or Patrick Beverley. So.
Yeah.
And I really like Teodosic as well. Like I think we all know that Teodosic looks like a lot of fun. Like the kind of guy you definitely want to play with. But
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, of the other MVPs that we talked about on the podcast, like last week, LeBron looks great. Like whatever, obviously he does. Kawhi isn't playing, so we can't judge that. I mean, Harden looks great. If they look sneakily better than, but they look not that much far off the Warriors. Maybe he can get some votes. Maybe he is MVP. But Giannis, like.
Can't
what
find
happened?
words. Yeah, we can't. Well, what happened? I was thinking that he will developing. And
did he make a massive leap forward this summer? Or is he just bigger? It's not like he's. Like,
he got way better than last year. But I think like that he will be like 3, 4, 5 games like that, maybe in a row again or something. But then I assume that he will get a bit more chill.
Well, maybe that's the thing. He's not right now. He's averaging 37, 11, and 5, 2 steals and a block. And he's shooting 66% from the field, because he can't make jump shots.
Yeah,
he's made 2 jump shots.
Giannis has improved physically with his body and his conditioning, and he's improved with his overall game. But the number one thing that he's improved is his mentality.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the challenge that Kobe set about going for MVP or whatever, but you can see in his demeanor on the court, the way he's playing, the expressions, the aggression. This is a new Giannis. Yeah. Everything else is obviously there. He's worked on his game. He's been in the gym, whatever. But it's this that I see with Giannis.
Yeah.
His mind is like switched on, like on a different level.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah, it's what you said about like other players, like NBA. Like he's playing with confidence. Like he goes on the court and knows like I'm probably, if I'm not playing LeBron James, I'm probably the best player on the court right now.
Yeah, and you see that.
Yeah, and he is accepting. I think he's accepting as well, like that he's more or less the Westbrook type of guy right now for the Bucks. That if he does not everything, they will lose, and then he does everything and they win. And then he goes with all the confidence, like you described, and it looks amazing. And I don't know who can stop him if he plays like.
Well, the thing, he can't make jump shots, and every team knows this, and it doesn't matter at all. Like he gets a foot in the paint, he can get a shot up around you, sort of up and around you, like. Oh, he's just going to dunk on you, and like it's utterly ridiculous.
You look really afraid of him.
It's not Greek freak anymore. He's like an angry Greek god staring down from Olympus, just flicking other basketball players off the court. Like it's just I'm done with this. Like if they get third, or they could be the third best team in the East.
And he's still young. If he develops a jump shot, and even like a 36% from three, and a decent jump shot, it is a wrap.
Yeah. He needs to shoot like 30%. 30% is like the minimum to make it worthwhile to shoot 3-point shots over trying to get twos, like just statistically speaking. Mm-hmm. And if he gets near that, the game's over for him. No, he can do whatever he wants. Yeah. Like, I can't think of a player like him.
I think ever. We can see now the new LeBron, because obviously LeBron is dominating since he's in the league more or less. As a unique player, as one player, and as an individual, and I don't see anyone else who can do that except from Giannis in the next years. So.
No, if they're the fourth or third seed, he gets the MVP.
Yeah. Teams are going to do everything in their power to stop him perfecting any kind of jump shot. Yeah. Like seriously, they need to something needs to happen, because if he does, oh my God. That's too scary. There's nothing you can do with him. There's absolutely nothing you can do with him, because you're going to be too scared. Like, what can you do?
And he handles the ball really well as well. Do you remember season before last when they experimented with him at the point? He does handle the ball really well as well.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have like point guard handles. It's not like he's a guy who played guard growing up and like. But you know, like there are guys out there who played point guard growing up and then suddenly grew really tall, and they just are now a big guy with point guard like handles. Like Pau Gasol was like that. He played guard growing up and then just happened to be 7 foot tall. Like, but Giannis is still learning that, and he knows he's still learning that. Like he's not out there going, "I'm the best player in the league." Like he knows that I need to improve my jump shot, I need to be a better defender, I need to be a better off-ball defender, I need to tighten my handle, and you can tell with him, he's not going to be happy winning MVP. Like it's not going to matter. Like that team needs to go to the conference finals for him to be happy.
Yeah, and now with Gordon Hayward out, like if it's not everything has to work out good for the Bucks and as well, and everything a bit bad for the Celtics, but it's nothing that is so impossible to happen, right?
And they have a good core. They have a really good core. And they've got little pieces. Like, I mean, earlier on we were talking about Bledsoe. I mean, I don't think they should trade for him, but people were talking about, Bledsoe can go to the Bucks. You give him Malcolm Brogdon and Greg Monroe. Like, that's a deal that could happen. The money works out. But I don't like Bledsoe on that team, or Monroe and Brogdon on the other team. But the fact that that is a possibility means that the Bucks have assets to make a move if they want to. And it's not like they're wedded to Greg Monroe. They've been trying to trade him for a year and a half. So there is room for them to get still better. And they'll need to if they want to keep Giannis around long term, right? I mean, he seems like a pretty loyal dude, but like he's not going to hang around for a team that's not going to be competing every year. And the thing is, next year when LeBron leaves and goes west, suddenly it is Giannis just the best player in the East now?
Sorry, I didn't realize LeBron called you and let you know some stuff. Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely going to LA, right? It's the worst kept secret in the NBA.
Oh, see, okay. I didn't get that memo.
Me neither.
Who doesn't want to get he's going to shake hands with Magic Johnson and then he'll say, "All right, I'll do this for 5 more years, then I'll retire."
If I was LeBron, I would not actually do that. I'm not saying that's not gonna happen or possible. Something tells me it's not gonna happen, but I wouldn't do that if I was LeBron at this point.
I just think there's a strong possibility, but I'm not as sold on the foregone conclusion as most people are. Julian, you're not the only one. Literally everybody on ESPN is just it's a guarantee he's going to LA. And there's a strong possibility and there's a good case and many reasons, and I understand and know them well, but I'm just not there it's definitely happening like most people seem to be. I think a lot of that depends on this year, basically.
Yeah. If they win the chip, then fine, but he signs another 2-year deal, 1-year deal with a player option, and then
I think as well, in my opinion, I see LeBron. He wants to be remembered as the best player ever played the game, and that he needs to win more championships. I don't know if he goes after that season to LA Lakers, if he is not losing 1 or 2 rings, possible rings, when he chooses for other team or stays with the Cavs. So.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking he's not going to get to 6, right? I'd put money on LeBron. No, he's not going to end his career with 6 championships. Unless he ends up signing with the Warriors, it's not happening. So,
signing with the Warriors.
I'd cancel my league pass. I'd cancel my league pass if you say
that's just saying LeBron signs for veterans minimum to play with Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala and Klay Thompson.
Cancel my league pass immediately.
No, done. I'm going to be an NFL fan. But I mean, we've been going for an hour, but talking about the Cavs real quick, their defense sucks. It sucked last year, and it sucked in the playoffs last year, but it's so bad. It's really disheartening to watch. Even against the Bulls, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, listen, we nearly had them, mate. They're lucky. With our short sell, with Mirotic's broken face and Portis' suspension, and Zach's still not even back yet, and a bunch of rookies and second-year players, and a terrible coach, we nearly had them. Bearing in mind, we've beat them 8 out of the past 9 times in recent seasons and beat them in preseason.
Yeah.
We nearly had them, as terrible as we are.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree with you. The defense is terrible.
You look down the line, okay, LeBron James is probably the best basketball player that's ever walked the earth. Who knows what Giannis does in the length of his career? He's 22, but LeBron is LeBron is top 3 all time, right? At top 5 at least.
Yeah.
And he's the best point guard on the team, best shooting guard, small forward, power forward, best center, best sixth man, best coach, probably the best GM in Cleveland as well. But after that, Kyle Korver got crossed up by Kay Felder so hard that he fell on his ass. Kevin Love still can't guard people. J.R. Smith has never been a lockdown defender. The Wade is too old. IT is the worst defender at his position when he comes back. D Rose has never been that guy. Can Cleveland guard? I mean, they haven't played one of the better teams in the East yet. I mean, I'd be really eager to see what happens when they face up. Even a team like Toronto, what happens when they play the Wizards, with really great perimeter players and a well-organized offense? Because I'd be worried about the Cavs. Looking at it now, I do not think it's as an easier run to, even with Hayward going down, it's not an easy run to the finals. I'm less confident in them now than I was 2 weeks ago. But a lot less confident. I don't know.
I'd agree in terms.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
Just something looks off, right? Something looks off.
Yeah.
But talking about good teams or predicted good teams, Warriors lost already. 2 games, isn't it?
Fine. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, but to me it's a surprise that they already lost 2 games.
That's the thing. They're not going to break the record if they keep on doing it this way. So.
Yeah, obviously not. But because
and Steph, we didn't even talk about that. But generally they got this little tantrum flow going on.
Yeah.
This whole tantrum.
Because they've been winning so many games over the past few seasons. That's like a loss to them. It's like you said, it's a tantrum thing. It's like the typical like throw your dummy out the pram type of thing when things don't go their way because they're so unused to things not going their way. And like I said before, I said this on this podcast before as well. They're still the most dominant team in the league, but they're not going to have this easy road that they've been having the past couple of years. Like there are teams that are able to at least challenge them and make them think about it a lot more than they have had to in the past 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, aside from there being better teams in general in the West, everyone is going to be up to play. And like, I think you said this as well before, Phil. Like people are coming out the neck every game. No one wants to make it easy for the champion.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone had a reduced training camp, so people are still figuring stuff out. But I mean, the Warriors, that shouldn't have effect. Like I read today that Nick started saying like we have no idea what our offense is. Like we don't know any of the sets. We know nothing at all. Like the Warriors have had as little time in training camp as the Knicks, but they don't have the same excuse because they've been playing together for a year. Like basically the same team, right? So, I mean, they're not used to losing when it happens. Like they don't know how to react. Steph throwing it,
and I think exactly. And I think on top of the blood, sweat, and tears that we referred to on what must have been last week's podcast or the one before, and what Phil was talking about, people coming at their necks. On top of that, I think generally their attitude, which you're starting to see again, because this is nothing new, you're starting to see it seep out very early. That is what is going to be the potential source of their undoing, if there is an undoing.
Yes.
Because for the past couple of years now, listen,
correct.
Yeah, listen, I liked the Golden State Warriors at one point.
Yeah,
especially like the Mark Jackson era, right up to when they got rid of him. And even the initial curse stages and whatnot, they were a team I always liked a lot. Yeah. But you saw, even prior to the KD thing, that just took it to a whole new level. But when
Draymond signed his $82.5 million deal, that's when his attitude started to get stink. And that's when they started to change.
Listen,
literally, the day Draymond signed his $82.5 million deal, he became a bastard.
I agree.
Literally.
Yeah.
No,
Clay, remember, Clay started running his mouth. Clay, you never used to run your mouth. All of a sudden, you're running your mouth. Hold on a minute. You're just a humble guy in the corner banging threes. Do that. Don't run your mouth. Clay started running his mouth. Nah, mate. Then that's when you just started to like dislike them. Yeah. Just be humble, be good, and win games. Don't run your mouth.
Yeah.
Because you weren't running. If you're players that you always were that, you always wore the bully boys, you always wore that kind of like run your mouth. Fair enough, but you weren't like that before. Now all of a sudden you're running your mouth. Move, man.
Aaron, make
be humble. Sit down.
Aaron, clip that. That entire tirade. Take that.
Oh no, don't worry about that.
That's the ringtone.
That's all in hand. Don't worry about that.
No, I completely agree. I mean, if the Warriors lose, it's going to be their own fault because they got complacent, or they didn't know how to handle a little bit of failure, or they couldn't deal with a ref not giving them a call. I mean, it already cost Steph Curry $50,000, so give me some. But
no, but it's real. They never should have gave Draymond money. I'm telling you. Never should have gave Draymond money. but they just switched up the whole team, the whole vibe. I don't like it. Very spoiled, arrogant. There's a certain air about them. Even down to Steve Kerr referring to Steph Curry and what punishment he may get. The way he was just so sarcastic about it. I don't know if you saw that response. Yeah, exactly. You're just like, nah, man, come on. You know what I mean? Like you said, be humble. Sit down. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down a bit. I'm not loving that. And that's why you have people waiting in the wings. People like Philip waiting in the wings, rubbing their hands for when they get clapped.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think like everybody who is no Golden State Warriors fan is now in that position because I'm like
because they're the type of team where every night, no matter who they're playing, they could be playing flipping the Nets. You're just rooting for whoever they're playing. You just want them to lose. And that wasn't the case before they started running them out.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like them. Like I had the exact same journey with the Warriors as Aaron because I liked them and they were cool players and everything. But then they started to win. Then they started to earn money, and then they are like running their mouths all the time and think they are the best of the history of humankind, or I don't know what's going on.
Man said the best in the history of humankind. No, but it's true though. So it's just a whole different level of arrogance. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as anti-Warrior as you guys. Like, it seems like at the same time, I am always. I'm never rooting for them unless it's like, well, I'm not going to root for the fucking Suns. Right? So
I'm not rooting against them or something. I'm rooting against their arrogance and everything.
That's exactly what it is.
I like the players.
I'm still a student of the game, so like ultimately that wins for me.
Yeah. It's cool everything, but what I hate arrogant people and everything, and Draymond Green and all that they did in the last month and everything. It's like, come on, like. Be humble, sit down, like Aaron said.
Be humble, sit down, win games.
100% agree with that.
Yeah. It's the attitude.
It's not them. I'm a student of the game. I love great basketball. I love their style. Like, you know, that will always trump anything else. But like you correctly said, it's just that unnecessary arrogance. And even arrogance, I can understand when it's organic, when it's naturally you, when you've always been like that. Braggadocious. Okay, cool. That's you, innit? But you weren't that before.
Exactly.
So that's why
someone puts a battery in your back and then you start getting hyped all of a sudden. It's just like, come on, man. It's
if
fake.
If you say before, like 5 years before, I'm the best or something, when you are not the best, and then when you are the best, you say I'm the best, then it's okay. But when you say nothing at all the time, and then once you get a ring, you're running, I think, like crazy, but well.
But it is what it is. Was there anything else on the agenda, Julian?
No, mate, I think we ran through everything that like sort of happened last week, all the catching up on MVPs and rookies. Like, we can't do rookies every week, but like.
But you would like to, right?
I like rookies. They're fun to watch.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Bam Adebayo. Like, he hasn't doing anything for Miami. Like, we talked about the Bulls. We talked about the Timberwolves. Talk about my team. Miami 2-1. Justice Winslow doesn't look shook. Something's wrong with Justice Winslow. Don't know what it is, but he doesn't look right. He was brilliant in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Something looks off with him. I can't decide what it is. But they're 2-1. They'll be a they could be 6th seed if they're lucky. Eric Spoelstra said today Whiteside is the best center in the NBA. It's like, you have to say that, don't you? Whiteside's the kind of guy who's going to look up. Like, Whiteside's going to be the kind of guy who has Google alerts for when someone quotes it, talks about him. So,
yeah, exactly.
I don't like Whiteside. Still trade him. Like, his value's never going to be higher. Trade him.
Quickly talking about that, I think the whole Joel Embiid getting at Cats is quite funny as well. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. See, that's kind of a similar example. Even when he wasn't playing, he's been like that.
Yeah.
Even throughout his injury, he's been like that. His rookie season, he's always been how he is. Before, whatever, after, that's organic. So that doesn't irk me at all.
No. And like, he's not chatting shit either. Like, he's calling out Whiteside for this and that. It's like, it's like, because you guys won and they lost, so that's fine. It's not like you're chatting shit about.
And he did actually barbecue chicken Andre Drummond as well. Like, it was barbecue chicken. You know what I mean? Trust me. So fair enough.
Yeah, Joel Embiid looks great. Bill Simmons looks fucking amazing. Hope Markelle Fultz gets better. Dario Saric looks like the good, like, 3rd or 4th best player on that team. Exactly what he needs to be. The thing is, right now, I prefer watching Philadelphia to I mean, part of it's time zones, but I'd rather, given the choice, I'd rather watch a Philadelphia game right now than a Warriors game.
Yeah,
Right.
because you know what you will have for the Warriors or Warriors,
exactly.
but it's new with Philadelphia, and it's like right now with Simmons, and it's like the start. They could be in 3 to 4 years the Warriors, the new Warriors.
So,
But, the Warriors are so young, so but. You get what I'm saying.
I'm happy for Brett Brown because Brett Brown's actually a really good coach.
Yes, he
it's
is.
Just because of the whole situation and the Sam Tanky situation and the process and all of that, why they've had to suffer. But Brett Brown is actually a really good coach, so I'm happy for him.
Man, trust the process. Like, it's worked out.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be the last time a team can do it as well. Like, because the change to the draft, like no one else can be able to do it ever again. So.
Yeah, this is the last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're going for it.
Yeah, that's why you and the Suns are fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the last year, mate.
Yeah.
So after this,
I really don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't give a crap about college players until the tournament, and I don't really get up on like who's going to get drafted where until the summer comes around. But I mean,
for that we have Kevin normally because he knows every little 13-year-old ever played the game.
Yeah, 5-star recruit.
13-year-old, you know. Kevin
knows the number 1 pick in the year 2025.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, for sure.
Well, no, number 1 pick in 2025 is LeBron's son, right? I don't know.
I was hearing something about that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, the team, like the Bulls, playing for the number 1 draft pick. But still, like, taking it to Cleveland without, like he said, like, Chris Dunn wasn't playing. Like, Zach LaVine is out. no Porters, no Mirotic. You got Zipser being like second best player.
Maybe they are even too good. Like,
That's too good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lauri Markinnen needs to get punched in the face. Yeah. So yeah, he's resting because Bobby Porter's punched him. But yeah, what a time! Great first week, aside from the injuries.
For sure, yeah. That was, but
always happen every year. But yeah, I'd rather not see one where a guy's foot goes 90 degrees to his leg. Right, so,
watching any games tonight, man?
I don't know. I've got to sort out my fantasy team.
Yeah.
I was just looking at tonight's games. Nuggets, Hornets, Wolves, Pistons, Rockets, Sixers, Cavs, Nets, Spurs, Heat, Pacers, Thunder, Grizzlies, Mavs, Jazz, Suns, Raptors, Warriors, and Wizards, Lakers. Where John
I'm first in the morning. I'm going to look up Lonzo's. John
Wall's early games. What are the early games?
The early games are Nuggets, Hornets, Wolves, Pistons, Rockets, Sixers, all at 12. And then Cavs, Nets, 12:30.
And you guys, you have it so good. The 1 hour is amazing.
Yes, I'm being a bit
like
unfair
1 hour.
here. I'm just boys,
I think next week is it this coming weekend where the clocks change here but not in the States. So like we're only 4 hours.
Yeah, it's this weekend. And Saturday night, precise 2 a.m.
1 week like you guys now, right? Like with 5 hours.
But I mean, let's talk about that. Like, let's fucking predictions. Pistons, T-Wolves. Who wins that?
I don't have to say.
Is Jimmy back? No, Jimmy's still out. Jimmy's got illness, isn't it?
Yeah, he's ill.
Jimmy's out, but they.
And it's in Detroit as well.
Yeah, it's at Detroit. In Detroit.
I don't know. I kind of still want to say Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves.
I go for Wolves as well, but obviously it will be difficult or more difficult.
Yeah.
If Jimmy Butler is playing, 99% win for the Wolves, I think, at Detroit, but
he's out with illness, so I was reading that.
Yeah, so
but I still probably lean on Wolves to do that.
Me too.
Then there's Houston at Philadelphia. Again, that could be like one of those home game wins for the underdog.
Yeah.
That's nice. When I heard Phil call out the games, that's the one that kind of went off in my mind. Like ping.
I'll take.
I'll probably jump in between a couple games, but yeah, I definitely want to have a good look at that game. Yeah.
I'll take Philly for that one. Yeah, I wouldn't put money on it, but I'll take Philly.
I think I'd still go Rockets, but I expect it to be an interesting game. And
me too. Me same like me.
Yeah, I expect Sixers to really give it.
Hornets, Nuggets, Hornets. I think. Hornets at home. They've been playing well. They're playing real well.
Yeah, I can roll with that. I can roll with that.
I mean, the Cavaliers will trounce the Nets, and Jay-Z, I'm sure, will be in attendance in New York. So
yeah, I think the Cavs are just gonna have their way with the Nets.
Yeah,
I mean, on the Nets, real quick, D'Angelo Russell does look good.
He does. I must say, he does.
Yeah. Heat Spurs at Miami. Spurs.
Yeah. Spurs every time. Doesn't matter.
The home game advantage doesn't count. So
depends if Wiggins has one of those days.
You still need talent to win home games like that. Mavericks, Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Mavericks haven't won a game yet, so I don't expect them to beat the Grizzlies.
Did you say Pacers Thunder?
No, sorry, I've been going down the list the wrong side. Yeah. Pacers Thunder.
Pacers come to see.
I go with the Pacers just because they won against the Wolves, so I go with the Pacers to put them stronger as they usually are, so they might let the Wolves look better, right?
One of them ones.
I say fun to get.
Yeah, okay.
I say
back at home, they're going to be pissed off to that last loss where Wolves hit that.
Okay, so you got that.
Yeah, Grizzly beat the Mavs. Jazz beat the Suns. Warriors, Raptors.
Come on, Raptors! I expect the Warriors to win. Realistically.
Yeah. And then Lakers, Wizards. Yeah, I think that's in LA. John Wall likes playing on a national stage, like before a big crowd.
John Wall, oh my gosh, spoke about it earlier. I gotta see that. Is that a real late game?
It's free.
I gotta see him go at Lonzo. I know he's gonna be just going to town. It's not a game. And John Wall's so hard to defend, and he actually plays both sides of the ball as well. So he's gonna get at him. So he's gonna get the Patrick Beverly treatment as well.
Yeah,
not quite
and
to
the
that
BBQ
level.
Chicken on the other end.
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta see that. That's a matchup I want to see.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against Lonzo Ball, but I just want to see it for the spectacle of it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Lonzo looks good. He'll be fine. He'll have a good career, I think. But I like he's got that sort of point guard mentality where he doesn't have to dribble all the way up to half court. He's more than happy to get rid of it quick and have the hockey assist on the fast break. Right.
Yeah.
And he's this close to a triple double as well. Like he could have been, instead of Ben Simmons, he could have been the guy that quick to a triple double. So his rebounding, like even his sort of flick shot is going down when he has space. He's going to be fine. I think he looks all right. Doesn't have to be the best player on his team. Brandon Ingram looks good. But Wall is going to destroy him. So like it matters tonight. But yeah, I mean that's predictions. What we're going to do this again next week, right, Aaron?
Yeah. We're going to do this again. Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course, what's going on? What a question, man.
Yeah, what are you talking about? What kind of question is that?
Who's going to get fired next?
But no doubt. That's more or less it. Let's wrap it up. And get to these games in a couple of hours. I've got a few things to do before that. Yeah. So I will bid you guys a good night.
Yeah. Have a good week. Next week.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Stay classy.
Yeah.
Adios.
Take it easy.